Hi, I'm live again. Okay. Well, I was gonna attempt to do something, but I decided to wait. Cherry juice, good stuff. So, I want to talk about 2019 next year. Wow, cool. 2019, special year, special year. Um, a lot of things are gonna take place. I kind of feel it, I kind of feel like something really good's gonna happen. And so first thing first would be HR 1242, which is pretty interesting piece of legislation. I've talked to some people about it, and I've kind of gone around and mentioned it to a few people. And, I mentioned a lot of things, and I've had a lot of interesting conversations concerning HR 1242 and Genesis 1513. And I'm kind of reluctant sometimes to even mention Genesis 1513 because I'm not a religious man, and in any fashion. I've never have been. But I am deeply spiritual in that regard, and that's always been a constant. I think throughout my life is to be deeply spiritual, to try to understand really what's going on. And I think it was a conscious decision to always face truth head on, and to not turn my head away. Especially considering the types of atrocities that we continue to see every day up until this day. And things that you see in a newspaper, things that you see personally, experiences that you go through in your lifetime. You consider the many dangers in life as we get there. So for me, it's a special thing, and maybe it's not any significance as far as number, but I will be 64 in December. So going into 2019, I'll be 64 years old. To me, to be a 64-year-old black man, uh, almost seems like a miracle sometime, considering the amount of onslaughts that are committed against black people, against black men, against black women. And these things have been done to us in this country for 400 years. In this country for 400 years, but that's not to consider the atrocities that have been committed around the world. And it seems to have been committed mostly by certain groups of people that can be easily identified and easily defined. It's not a difficult thing to do if you decide to open your eyes and do a lot of reading and research, and like I have personally. And it's like I just do it because I feel it's important. So over the years I spent, you know, quite a bit of money. All my money, when you get a paycheck, there's certain things that you buy. You want to go get a roof over your head, you want to have food, you want to feed your body well, and you want to feed your mind well. And it's too easy in America to get caught up in like TV shows, you know? You waste a lot of your life. Well, okay, if that's the kind of person you are, so be it. I'm not going to complain because I chose to do what I do. And I didn't need to go to any college or university to do it. It just wasn't necessary to go to a college or university to learn truth. Now, along the way, as we seek truth and we search for truth, you get a lot of people that try to manipulate your way of thinking one way or another. It seems that to be a common thing always. 64, I can look back and I remember all the times people are trying to convince me to believe certain things or to do certain things, and nothing ever felt right for me. So as we approach 2019, there's been a lot of events in my life that have been centered around the fact that I am a black man. Well, if you want to use the term, I've never liked the term Negro. I thought it was kind of derogatory, but nowadays I find through research that there was actually a place called Negro Land, but it was in Africa. So, there's no need to argue about things, about what people believe, and if they want to talk about the so-called Judeo-Christian God, fine. If you want to talk about the Muslim God, fine. There's been so many gods and God perspectives, which is what they are, God perspectives. I have no need for most of those things myself. I just don't. I've never felt a need, but I do feel a need to understand truth. So I like going back in history as far as possible. And you find that the history prior to the writing of the Bible is quite fascinating in itself. It leads you up to a different conclusion. Well, it led me up to a different conclusion as concerning everything. So, I like to stand on above and just look down at it all. Interesting, to look at things this way. So it encompasses my awareness at all times. And now some bridges are being built between Africa and America and all Black people. To me, that's pretty fascinating. Spiritually, it's fascinating because it seems to be the one thing that other cultures in the world have had the most fear of: the awareness of the Black man. And believe me, these people have spent massive, if millions, if not trillions of dollars trying to hide our history from us. And they have spent a good 400 years working diligently to do that and to convince us to accept this disgusting display of what they call civilization and have us live in it and use it to exploit us if we buy into it so that they can be rich. Really? That's it? Because it ain't meant for us. America is not for Black people. Out us. Now, if we should decide that we want to be somewhere else, we can be anywhere we want to be in this world, because this world don't belong to one people. Let's be quite clear about that. But if we want to go back to origination points, where we all originated, if we want to do that, that would be cool too. But I would really appreciate it if Europe would stay out of Africa. Of course, they can't, because you know what? They need us more than we need them. They need our land more than we need them. They need our minds more than we need them. They need our creativity more than we need them. That's the way I see it. I mean, I think a lot of other people see it the same way. But, Black people, let's face it, we're our own worst enemy. We've been falling for this crap. We've been falling for this garbage, and it's time to give it up. It's time to give it up. In 2019, it's time to give it up. It's time. My God, I've been agonizing over this movement, and I didn't even know about the movement even then. But it's like this, come on, you people, you got to wake up. Let's talk about health for a minute, because you know what? Health is wealth. If you got your health, you got everything. If you ain't got your health, you ain't got nothing. But how did you learn to take care of yourself in America? The soul food thing? Come on, let's get real. You got to get real. You got to get real. You got to face this head on in the mirror. It's going to be hard on you to finally come to grips with what's killing you and shortening your lifespan and oppressing you and exploiting you and making money off your misery and your failing health, and you're buying into this garbage and you're making them rich, and they're lying to you every damn step of the way. Every damn institution is a lie. You don't even need to buy it. You just need to wake the hell up and quit buying into American bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. Some of the things that are going on. Here's something that's really good. And you know what? Before I go too far, John D. Rockefeller, I'm going to talk about him for just a second because you know what? I think it's important for you to understand exactly what I'm trying to get at. They didn't build anything worthwhile. For the medical system, it ain't for you. It's to exploit you. It's to dupe you. It's to trick you. It's to manipulate you and make money off your failing health because you were foolish enough to buy into all the crap that they taught you in these decrepit schools, these things they call school, but indoctrination centers. Really? Ain't no goddamn education in America. Ain't shit in America. I graduated in 1972, didn't know a damn thing that was worthwhile that was going to do me any good anywhere. I had to go out on my own and learn what all that I know now and understand because nobody was saying anything all through the whole damn thing, And then they want to throw some lame ass black history on you, talking about, oh yeah, there were some black cowboys and there was Harriet Tubman. It's like, you know what? The hell with all of that. Look, not the hell with Harriet Tubman. Beautiful woman. Was beautiful. It was brilliant what she did. But guess what? We've been doing that all along. It ain't just then. But this is the Underground Railroad right here. This is where it is. So anyway, John D. Rockefeller. Modern medicine has some good points for sure, and it is great in an emergency. So let's be quite clear about that. You need an emergency, you need emergency care. That's a plus. So I'm going to give that. But it's time we learn that today's mainstream pharma industry, with this focus on drugs, radiation, and surgery, is at its foundation a Rockefeller creation. But how did the pharma industry come to be so prominent in our world? Where it all began? Well, let's go back to the 1800s, people. Let's go back. Because that's when they really started to put it to us. That's like, let's do this to them. We got these niggas here and all these other stupid people, the trailer park. We got all of these people here. Let's do this to them. John D. Rockefeller, the head of the Rockefeller family, had just become very rich through extracting oil from the ground. As he starts to look for ways to capitalize his oil, and he comes across the idea of using coal tar, a petroleum derivative, to make substances that affect the human mind, body, and nervous system. Wait, petroleum drugs? Yep. These drugs are excellent at masking or stopping symptoms, but they absolutely do not cure the underlying cause of a disease. Rockefeller then bought out part of the massive German pharmaceutical cartel, i.e., IG Farben. This was the very same cartel that would later assist Hitler by manufacturing chemicals and poisons for war. Funny how it all comes together. Destroying the competition. Let's get to that. How did they destroy the competition? Well, now armed with the ingenious idea of petroleum drugs, he wanted to eliminate the competitors of his newfound investment, so he hired a man called Abraham Flexner to submit a report to Congress in 1910. I'm repeating me, come on. This report concluded that there were too many doctors and medical schools in America, and that all the other healing methods which had existed for hundreds or thousands of years were unscientific quackery. Unfortunately, Congress acted upon the conclusions and made them law. Incredibly, modern medicine became the standard, even though its three main methods of treatment in the 1800s had been bloodletting, surgery, and the injection of toxic heavy metals like lead and mercury to supposedly displace disease. Really? Who the fuck does that? Really? That's the kind of shit that they're... Come on. Europeans were some of the dumbest people on the planet to come up with that crap. Oh, but they brilliant to market this. It's funny how a drug showing promise to treat a specific disease is usually pushed into human clinical trials. Remember Tuskegee and a bunch of other experiments. Yet cannabis, a plant. Hang on a second. Cannabis, a plant, has been shown to have anti-tumoral effects for decades, is still awaiting them. Think about that for a moment. Natural solutions versus Rockefeller medicine. At this moment, let us turn from the problem to the solutions. And fortunately, they are abundant. The famous ancient Greek physician Hippocrates wrote, "Nature heals. The doctor's task consists in strengthening the natural healing powers to direct them and especially not to interfere with them. The immune system is your number one defense against any disease, not a vaccine. Most natural medicine is designed to treat the body holistically, not to cure one disease, only to have it transform and mutate into another ailment." One such example is even cited in the Holy Bible. Genesis 19 and Deuteronomy 29 mentions a certain nutrient that seems to inhibit the aging process, protecting your cells from the ravages of time. One that has the ability to prevent, stop, and even reverse some of today's deadliest diseases. And when mixed with any diet, it strengthens and enhances your health and immunity better than any man-made remedy. So look up Genesis 19 and Deuteronomy 29. We'll do that. Okay. So I just wanted to share this for 2019 because I think it's important. You know, like, come on, people. Let's wake up. This whole thing, you got to be careful. You can't let these systems that these people put up, continue to exploit you like that. You got to stop. It's time to wake the hell up with this idea. You got to get it right. You can't, the medicines don't work. June 6, 2016. I ended up in the hospital for 3 days with what was labeled a minor heart attack. And I hate that word, heart attack. I hate every term these doctors come up with. I hate it because it's bullshit. It's a bullshit word. It's a bullshit term. Your heart don't attack you. You attack your heart. I attacked my own heart. I know it. And that was the last stretch of waking up and realizing that I was eating the wrong things for too long. It was ridiculous. Now it's even more ridiculous to me when I look back at what I was doing and what I was eating. But the beautiful part is this. A system has been put in place for communications, and you're able to, you're able to glean information quickly and readily. And with what they call push-pull technology and the greedy auspices of these people that create these systems, they're so greedy, they got to sell, and everything is worth money and nothing is sacred. Even state secrets, secrets that have been kept from us for many, many years. But when you realize that all during the time that all of these atrocities are being committed against us by the medical institutions, there has been Black people continuing to heal and cure the human body. But not only Black people, there has been white people doing this. Can you imagine healing 4-stage cancer and there ain't not one news work gonna breathe a word to you about this? There's people talking all over YouTube with all this information. You don't need one person. You need this to get this right. You get this right. When you get this right, you'll save yourself. You cure yourself. They're lying to you about everything. They got you so manipulated and bamboozled, and everybody buys into it, white, black, and otherwise, and we all die of heart attacks and strokes and diseases because we're putting it in our mouth. Let's get this straight, people. You are putting the disease in your mouth. Cancer comes from food, and the doctor ain't gonna fix you. He ain't gonna fix. He's gonna fuck you up. Excuse my expression, but he's gonna fuck you up. And he don't care because he's making money. He got to pay for that medical school education on how to kill. You know, man, might as well be honest about it. Say, look, how do you exploit a person's failing health and fool them into thinking you're actually doing something? That's what they should call it, because that's the truth. It's bullshit, people. All what I went through in the hospital for 3 days was bullshit. They put 3 stents in me. You know what? And that pissed me off. A glass of cayenne pepper would have been just fine. A glass with cayenne pepper. You think they'll tell you that? Oh, hell no. The information is out there. You got Amazon, you got YouTube, and you got Google. And they make money passing information through push pull technology. Oh, you bought this? Well, you looked at this. You might like this. Well, people that bought that also bought this. It grows. So, through the beauty of having this information available allowed me to drop me for 3 years to this day. And I have cleared up many afflictions that have come along the way, but it's healing the entire body, not just one part. You don't heal one part, you heal the whole damn thing. So I'm going to be spending the rest of my time making sure I can put together some information. And when people have questions, I can easily pass this information. I'm not here to make no money on anybody. I don't care about that because I got my health. As long as I got my health, I'm going to continue doing what I need to do and could do, to help carry on a lot of the work that a lot of the people like Dr. John Henry Clark, Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Anthony Browder, on and on and on. Lots of wonderful people talking about lots of wonderful things, spreading the truth. Get back to your ancestral heritage, people. Everybody, okay? Black people especially, get back to your ancestral heritage. What has been left for you? White folks leave millions, like Donald Trump's dad left him $450 million. He's a goddamn trust fund baby, but look at he's run amok like a madman. Really? I'm pushing the agenda of this new world order. Oh, new world order. What does it mean? Let's go take the black man's land. That's what that means. Come on, let's get real. They want the black man's land. They want the black man's genius because we built every damn institution and every industry in this country out of our creativity and our genius. And then they copy and they say, oh, no, I did that. They continue to do that. They act like that all the goddamn time. White people always said that shit to me. I'll say a word or a phrase or something. Next thing you know, a white man saying the same damn thing. I've seen it happen in my life. Like, really, whatever I come up with, you want to copy it? Holy shit. I'm a musician, people. Do we need to talk about the music industry and what has been done racially in the music industry, really? Do we even have to go there? I think not. Not at this time. That's a story for other days. So, I wanted to do a little talk just to say a few things because, my God, here we are up on 2019 and we're trying to figure so many things out. And all you got to figure out is you. You go to the mirror, you have a conversation with that person, a very serious one. If you are black, the only way to save yourself in your mind and your ability to be aware is by controlling what goes in your body. And listen, I'm vegan for things I don't eat, and I'm not gonna eat anymore. because it wasn't meant for me to be eating it. It wasn't meant for any human to be eating that garbage. It's just meant to make money for a bunch of people who want to stay on top of every system that's feeding you. And they're intentionally making you sick. So you feed the other system and you go to the doctor, and that son of a bitch will feed you full of toxins. So it's toxins your whole life, eating your body up, screwing up your brain, screwing up your neurological system, screwing up your intestines, giving you IBF, your irritable bowel syndrome, high blood pressure, obesity. Obesity is rampant. If you're obese, you're eating stuff you can't get rid of. That's the truth, people. You're eating things you're not supposed to be eating. But you love the taste. You love the taste on the wound of your emotional damage that's been inflicted on you by the society from your family and all the other sick people that are running around you because they're eating the same garbage and they're acting stupid. Yes, it has to do with behavior, people. Food controls your behavior. It controls your thoughts. It controls everything that go on when you eat garbage for food, because garbage in, garbage out. It's amazing if you can even act decent by eating some of the garbage that's out there. It's amazing that can even happen. Um, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back. Ooh, boy. Okay, so anyway, here we are. Um, Thinking about 2019, and listen, this is just black cherry. Um, One of the few things I trust that um, hopefully is processed as little as possible. Juice from ripe whole black cherries. That's all it is. No sugar added. Um, I actually use this. This is something that I decided. It says on the bottle, unsweetened, non-GMO product for hopefully. Why do I drink it like this? Well, it actually flushes me out pretty good. One of the things I've learned in the last couple of years is how to clean things and flush things through my body, which is very important when you want to talk about ending disease. Because what you do by doing that, you hurry up and get things out so that they don't affect you. It's actually a very simple process. And once you learn how to do this, whenever you start having problems, you know how to cleanse things out. It's not difficult to do, but you don't have colds, you don't have flus, you don't have things that make you have a need for so-called pharmaceutical. The pharmaceuticals, oh my God, they're absolutely deadly. So, the important thing for us to all realize in 2019 is in order for you to wake up, yes, you have to change your diet. Hopefully, you can wake up without changing your diet, but if you wake up, you end up changing your diet. Why? Because you're now awoke. You're awake. You understand. When you understand, you learn to obey. Who do you obey? You obey the creator that created your body that can heal itself, and you do what you're supposed to do to clean it up. You don't go to somebody else to do it for you. They're not going to do it. They don't care. They'll lie to you. People lie for two main reasons: sex and money. That's it. That's what they lie for. They'll lie I mean, they'll tell outrageous lies. They'll tell you a lie even though they know it's a lie and they know you know it's a lie, and they'll still tell you the lie and act like the lie is true. It's like, come on. It's not difficult to figure those things out. You can do it. So I don't know. I'm still trying to place myself in a right spot, and as a New Year's coming up, I've given a lot of thought to creating an institution, hopefully a nonprofit of sorts. It's nice to have local people that can go and talk to local people, because we all have to stay communicating. On the internet, you're pretty much international, but it's only whoever finds your video, and they're able to sit there long enough to listen to what you got to say. And I don't know. I mean, people have listened to some of my videos. I've done quite a few, and I think I do them mostly. They're therapeutic to talk about the things that I don't really get a chance to talk about, or the perspectives that I think are important. And I think not because I'm important, because I think we're all important, and we all need to contribute. So I want to contribute, and as I get older, as I'm going to 64, and in 2019, I want to do more. I'm really kind of excited about the new year, and hopefully, I can make some moves. And I will be talking to some people, and I will be contacting people, and trying to do some things to donate to the community at large, and donate some of my time, and hopefully my energy, and then mostly that's it, because I'm not trying to do too much. I have to look after my own family, which is very, very important for me. And being for them, being here for them is by far my greatest joy, and to share that all that I have for useful as I get older. And I'm thinking about retirement, but there's no such thing as a retirement, really. There's so much to do until my last days. Um, I've set some long-term goals, and and I just we work towards those goals. Dying is not something to even think about, because of course we're all going to die. And then people say that to me. They want to keep eating garbage, and they justify it by saying, "Well, we're all going to die anyway." It's like, of course, that's true. I want to die consciously. That's all. Uh, I don't want to die, with some doctor with some machine that he's stuck in me, or some tubes that he's stuck in me, and some toxic poisons that he's stuck in me. It's like, the hell with all of that. To hell with it. I'm done. I've been done with that for a long time. So I don't want to do that. You know, I think I've got a handle on my health in ways that I never thought I would have, actually. Thinking about it, not like 4 years ago. And we think about it. I mean, I think about it. Not everybody thinks about it, but my wife thinks about it, and I think about it, and I think about their health all the time. That's the most important thing. And yes, the family still does eat a lot of things that I certainly wouldn't, but certainly we can last a lot of years even eating garbage. But for me, it goes much deeper. It's also having a clear awareness. A mental clarity is, a certain mental clarity came over me since I've been cleansing. A mental clarity that I didn't have before. And with that mental clarity comes control, control of one's own thoughts, control of one's own actions comes with the mental clarity. You might slip a little bit here or there, maybe do something out of character, but I like being who I am. I don't have very many problems, really, especially at this point. Um, but 2019 has some is going to have some very very special significance. Um, it'll always be significant. It'll be turning point. Yeah, huge turning point. And so it's important that on some level, and there the wheels take place for black people to unite. And believe me, black people, when we unite, I think everybody else is they jump on every damn bandwagon we've ever had. Get real. Every time we do something, everybody is dead on our heels. Everything the black man does. The white folks is out there peeking in the door. They what y'all doing? Huh? What really what is can we see? That they can't leave us alone. But if we are aware and united, they cannot continue to treat us the way that they've been treating us for 400 years. That's what the difference is, people. If you stop and think, the control is in your hands. If you wake up, Spike Lee's been trying to do it for a long time. There was a whole lot of prominent black people speaking up and smart people telling you the truth. So you got to decipher who you really need to listen to. And even some white people talk about it. I mean, Jane Elliott and some lady just recently, I forget her name, Bartholomew or whatever, she wrote a nice book, The Invention of White People. And, they've been talking, they come, look, it's good white people. There's really, really bad white people. There's a lot of really, really bad black people too. They be selling our brothers and shit. But there's some really, really good black people. So if we combine all the really, really good people and we can get all the good black people to unite, the systems can do whatever they want to do, but they won't last without our participation. We don't participate, that means the system no good. And who should want to participate in a system that is lying to you and exploiting to you from cradle to grave? That's all it's doing. From cradle to grave, it's exploiting the shit out of you, lying to you every damn step of the way. From cradle to grave, it's a lie. We're living a lie. I knew that from a long time ago. I said, because I'm always asking questions. From a very young kid, I ask questions all the time. It's like, my God, why are things like they are? Why is mom taking? What is this church? Oh, that's for you to go save yourself. The Lord. You pray to the Lord. Like, no, that didn't make sense to me. If it made sense to those people if it makes sense to the people who go there, fine. But I take issue with a lot of things, and people get somewhat a little offended when I talk too much. If I tell the truth, people get their feelings hurt all the time. But black people, you got enough money. You just got to get your health. That's it. Stop eating garbage. Start taking care of yourself, getting your food somewhere else. Don't keep going to the grocery store. I mean, I know you got to go there and get some stuff. Go stay in the produce section. That's the least amount of poison you're going to get. You're still going to get some, but just stay there in the produce. Spend 80% of your money in the produce section. Believe me, it'll turn this whole thing around. And then grow a garden. Try to avoid Monsanto. They're still trying to screw with us. Selling the seed. They're trying to monopolize every damn. They can't monopolize the damn world. The world doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to them. Let's get this straight. And if you don't accept it, you ain't got to participate in it. Figure out a different way to live. Live differently. Obey the laws. Do the right thing. Be good to your neighbors. Take care of each other. Love each other. You can continue to do that through every step as you become aware and you become awake. And as you begin to change your lifestyle into one that does not feed an evil system. A system that was never designed to help you, was designed to exploit you from cradle to grave and to cut your life short. And I don't know of anybody, people. I really don't know of anybody that loves to go see their loved ones in a hospital dying. Last year, almost a year ago, this very time, I lost my dear mother. And it's always painful to lose a family member, but when you analyze the circumstances, you can't help but be concerned when you know the things that they did contribute. Look, when I was laying in for the hospital for 3 days, I knew I contributed to the problem. I just knew that. I mean, it's like I couldn't ignore that, and I couldn't expect them to help me. And they weren't going to, and they weren't going to tell me the truth. I just knew that. I could feel it, I could sense it, I experienced it, and I said, when I got out, you know what? It was on me. And thank goodness I have a situation and I have a wonderful wife who supports me in ways that I did not realize that she could or would support me in this endeavor, because it's on me. Everything is on me. Every disease, every problem I have, it's on me. It ain't on them. I know they ain't gonna do shit for me. No, they're gonna lie and feed me full of toxic poisons. I don't want that. I'll drink the cherry juice though. It's really good stuff. Oh, leaves a nice taste in the mouth, all that good stuff. So yeah, 2019. I'm excited about it. I really want to work on some things. I'll be back. I don't want to let anything out yet. I really want to make sure that what I'm doing is going to be proper, upstanding. It's going to work well. I hope to do much more videos and talk more, and I hope to make things more exciting. If I maybe seem dull to some people, I hope it's more exciting and I can make it worthwhile, because I just like to be helpful, and I want to be more entertaining. I want to get more into the music, but I haven't quite. I had to step away from music because I'm not being as creative as I'd like to be. I'm still working on it though. I want to do some more music and some more recordings, and hopefully put those out there. And hopefully the music will be more geared towards awakening. There is one piece that I did call Arise, and I did that many years ago without even really thinking about it, but I think about it more now. And so I'll do more like that meditative sounds to kind of entice you to think about the awakening and how powerful and how important the awakening of the Black man really is. It's very, very powerful. It's so powerful. It's unimaginable. And the power that you have to change this world overnight, you have discounted it for so long. We haven't even considered that it's on us to change everything. You don't have to do it the way that they think that you should do it. It doesn't work that way. It's not. No, it doesn't go that way. But they are still thinking of insidious ways to try to poison us off, to try to stop our population growth, because they are the ones that are in fear. It is the fear the white man has. The elite whites are in deadly fear. But if you look back through history, they can't live without us. We are the original people. And I believe it goes much deeper than that. So once we learn to take control of our behavior and what goes in our mouth and all this garbage in our brain and start paying attention, you'll find there's so many fascinating things that Black people create. And we've always created. Look back in your history in this country, but go back far beyond before we got kidnapped and held in captivity. Okay. If you want to look at it biblically, look at it biblically. You can look at it in legal history. If you want to look at it that way, you can look at it many different ways. But nevertheless, the truth is the truth as to what happened. And it is all there. I mean, I'll say this much about the Bible. There's some very interesting phrases and things in there that are quite fascinating. Seems somewhat relevant. Some of it intensely relevant to what's going on today and what has been done to us. So I'm gaining my power back by just being who I am, and understanding the truth of that and being authentic and true to myself. And I think that works quite well. I don't have a need for much more but then to share what little bit I know. And it's a lifelong process. But a lifelong process of self discovery is worth everything. Remember, health is wealth. For 2019, people, let's get our health first. If we get our health, we have all that we need. We don't need no bombs and no guns. No, it's nice things in an emergency, but you don't need that to gain the power that I'm speaking of. The power that I'm speaking of is the power of the control of your own mind and your own thoughts, and it takes a lot sometimes, but if we support each other in this, if we gather our troops, however you want to look at it, if we gather together and contemplate these things and these issues and work together, we can create a community and nations will rise up out of nations. Remember that. Nations will rise up out of nations. It can be done overnight. I'm sure of that, and I believe in that in many ways, and it may be different than most people see it, but I believe it. I have faith in it. The Black man will once again rise. Black people together, the Black man and the Black woman, will rise. It is time, people. It is time. So let's get ready for 2019. And on that note, I'll be back with more stuff later.